Alright, all the homies over at Fujifilm sent me out the GFX 50SII. Some of y'all who have been subscribed to me for a long while know that I used to shoot with the original GFX 50R, and I freaking loved that camera, but the work that I had coming in was very fast paced and it just couldn't keep up. This camera is all updated now. The focusing system's updated, stabilized sensor, same sensor though, which I don't mind. The only thing that I do mind is it doesn't have phase detection autofocus. So you'll see in a little bit during the shoot, it's kind of a problem at times. Now you guys have seen a million videos on this camera already probably, but I want to compare it to my Mamiya 645 AFD, Kodak Portra 400. First, the files are coming straight off of here. I didn't do like the best job recording the photo shoot because I don't know, there's a lot going on in my small apartment trying to light all this. I'll show a picture of this lighting setup just so you guys can see how like congested it is in here. But anyways, let's watch the photo shoot real quick. All right, y'all, so there's a model coming here. It's gonna be the first model to shoot in this apartment. So I gotta start getting it prepped. Should be here in like 40 minutes or something. I don't know. I need to drink more of my coffee. I'm gonna try to do 3 different lighting setups. I wanna do a projector setup, some kind of old like Western underglow kind of lighting. Forgot what the other one is, but you guys will see. I'm gonna tilt this V flat back. But you see we have our key light. This is pumping out most of the light that's going to be coming out of this. And then these are side fills. So this is kind of like, I forgot what's called. Roger Deakins does something a little bit similar, but he wraps it a lot more and he kind of makes it fall off to one side. I'm doing a little bit more of an editorial look. So it's like almost like an upside down butterfly light maybe. I don't know. You guys can kind of see what it will look like. And obviously I'll be back further, and I'm going to pop a hard hair light above her to kind of add a glow. So yeah, but this is the light. See, we have a backlight up there. I'm probably gonna put blue gel on that though. I don't know, I gotta work with the lighting ratios a little bit because it's a little bit, I don't know, we'll see. Not liking it so far. All right, yeah, I started her on the stool, but I didn't have the light wrapping enough vertically, so I had to lower her. So once she sits on the ground, you start getting that magical like theater looking up stage light. I'm gonna put the GFX versus Portra 400 and the Mamiya, and we'll see what it looks like in a little dope studio setup apartment thing. Shot some GFX 50SII, some Mamiya. Emma, what'd you think?
Really good.
We have the Forza Mix panel, and this is just our hard key light. I wanted to go for like a theater look. You know when you're like at an old Western theater in a Western movie, it's like they're being lit by candlelight underneath. Wanted to do something like that, but then still kind of like a glowy look from behind, and it put a cool little spotlight in there too. Ended up turning this one off because it's giving me too much of a weird look, too much like uplight. And then this was like the final cherry on top, just a blue room fill, and it added like that subtle blue ambient touch to your skin. And that's it. Are you content with the photos?
Yes.
Yeah, we found this random trail. But yeah, look at this. So pretty out here. Well, kind of pretty. Shout out to Emma for being so patient. The focusing's definitely faster and better, but you see that just went blurry and it hunts. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me just start with the autofocus on here. I shoot a lot of hats. It could be like the newspaper boy hats, where those are called, cowboy hats, flat brims, wherever. The face detection on here does well, but since it is contrast-based autofocus, it has to like hunt. Like the autofocus has to go in and out before it locks onto it. On my next shoot, I'm gonna try back button focusing so I could just hold it down and see if it'll just continue to track it. I have a feeling that it's still gonna kind of hunt, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, for me in format, it's freaking fast, but compared to like my R5, it's still a little bit sluggish, but their GFX 100S and 100 does have face detection. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind having that camera just because of the medium format. So now this is where we get into this Mamiya 645 and the Fujifilm. The sensor size on here is cropped, so it's like a cropped medium format. It's still medium format. It's still way bigger than 35mm. And last but not least, if you guys stuck around, let's go and start comparing the digital to the film. All right, guys, let's start with the studio shots real quick. So this is what it looked like straight from the lab lab. I think this film might have been either expired or wasn't stored correctly. It's been sitting in one of my drawers for like 6 to 12 months. I meter it at 320. It's Kodak 400, so I don't know what's going on. But you can see after I correct the blacks and retouched it, this is what it looks like. Freaking love film. And then I put a small grade on there, and you see it's just a little bit of a blue tint into the shadows. Now let's go through the digital shots real quick, and then we'll bounce back and forth. Okay, so right here, this is just straight out of camera with the exposure corrected. There's zero color grade on here. You see minimal adjustment. This is just my secret curve that I put on there. Let me reset the curve so you can see what that curve's doing. That curve is really making it look filmic, but the fact that it's so easy for me to get that look straight from the Fuji file with zero color grade is insane. And then right here, we have it with the grade. So right here, the straight out camera, this is my curve adjustment, and then just a light grade on there. So we can run through the rest of the photos real quick. Now let's go and compare this to film. So again, this is the GFX 50SII, and this is Kodak Portra 400. And let's lower our exposure a little bit more. And look at that, guys. This is insane. So this is just the classic negative simulation. Let me take my color grade off. So this is it straight out of camera, and that's with my color grade. Now let me go to an outdoor shot so you guys can see what I was talking about earlier. All right, guys, for the outdoor shots, you see I'm not using a classic neg. I can just throw it on this edit. It's probably not going to look that great. Like, to me, this is a little bit overdone. Some people might like that. Here's classic chrome, which doesn't look horrible. And then here's the Provia, and then the Capture One film standard. But let me just go and correct this film real quick. All right, guys, so here's the film, and again, the tints just push it over, blacks are corrected. Here's my edit. I did these edits before I saw the film and pushed this film a little bit more. So again, I'm just kind of correcting it. I'm not putting any colors on it or any grades or anything like that. And then let me just correct the white balance on the straight out of camera shot. So again, this is the classic neg. Again, the reason I didn't like this is just all the tones are getting kind of tossed. We're losing some like saturation underneath the shadows, which I don't mind, but it's just not working for what I need. You see like all the colors back here are getting pushed a little bit too hard. These grays are just going a little bit too gray. And so once you start going in and trying to correct their simulation, kind of losing details. So again, if I go and I change this one to film standard, you see all of a sudden there's a lot more color detail in there. So again, this is classic neg. This is a bunch of just like raw image color and details that you can mess with. But the whole point is this is medium format film, so you can see the kind of compositions that you get, the compression you can get. It's just a really special look. And the fact that Fujifilm has this camera where you get a similar look with all these crazy details is just wild. The next video I'm going to do is comparing the GFX versus the Canon R5. You'll see that the quality is actually kind of similar. The type of compositions that you could do on medium format is just, I don't know, to me it's special. Like especially like this, it immerses you into the shot. Like the head is kind of popping off the rest of the photo, but you're still like, you still get all these surroundings in there. So it's just a special look.